Oh, look at that shot! Oh my god, it just refuses to give up. It refuses to just stop being insanely fucking breathtaking. That is Star Wars. That is Star Wars at its best. Not Rise of Skywalker, not whatever the fuck Solo was, definitely not the fucking prequels. That is Star Wars. That is. And that is why I just love this franchise. It's that time of the year again. 'Tis the season to be jolly. To gather around and watch Star Wars with Molly? Am I allowed to say that? Let's just say I am. But as you all know, usually every year I like to tend to do my form of a Christmas special. You know, usually I do my Christmas special with my GTA 5 Funny Moments video that I do every Christmas with my friends, where we somehow make it a very Christmas theme or holiday theme or something that allows us to murder people in a video game somehow. And or usually the last few years, since it has kind of been pretty much now Star Wars season every time the holidays drop with the new big release of the Star Wars franchise somehow, I tend to talk about Star Wars. That's the name. Star Wars. But since this year I don't really have my PS4 anymore because I was expecting to get the new console that I still don't even have anymore, so I decided, why the hell not? The Mandalorian Season 2 has just come to its grand finale, and what better thing to talk about this holiday season than possibly one of the biggest series to ever come out of this franchise, and just one of the biggest shows to ever drop this year. Period. I mean, what else has really come out this year that we've talked about? I mean, I know Cobra Kai has been absolutely dominating everything right now, but Cobra Kai isn't even necessarily new. It's the fact that it came out on Netflix to finally get more attention because YouTube didn't do shit with it, and so weird to think that it's already been an entire year since even the first one came to its big finale, season 1. I remember like if it was yesterday, I was in Chicago with all my family together, and to get together with my uncle and even all my cousins to finally watch that grand finale, with that big bombastic finale with all the apparently stormtroopers volunteered by the 501st, and to see finally Mando reveal his helmet, to see Gus from Breaking Bad, instead of no longer making blue meth, actually come with a freaking dark saber. It was like the coolest thing ever, man. Oh my god, I really miss 2019, man. But a year now has finally passed, and with chaos and fear now pretty much dominating the whole country, it was a time, it was the moment for the stars to collide and Star Wars to finally gift us something to get together on again and have some hope with. And that was The Mandalorian Season 2. Finally premiered on October 31st, literally on Halloween, and from fall to winter to see all the 8 new episodes of Season 2 of The Mandalorian and see all the new adventures they have us to offer, all the new characters they have to offer us, all the new stories, all the new bloody impressive effects and sequences they have to show us to get all excited for again. What does The Mandalorian and what does Pedro Pascal's beautiful face that actually is not really shown much till, actually, he was kind of revealed a lot through the end. So, what does Pedro Pascal's beautiful face have to give us this holiday season? Here's what I thought about Season 2. What made Season 1 so beloved and exciting that I even talked about in my review of the first season, go check out that video. What made The Mandalorian even so exciting in the first place is that it finally brought us back to the roots of what made Star Wars in the first place. What made that original trilogy tick. They got this classic Western genre of filmmaking and of storytelling mixed with this epic sci-fi fantasy twist to it. That's what Star Wars is at its core. When you watch especially A New Hope, the original one itself, the one that started it all, especially for the first act of the movie and like the first, 30, 40 minutes, it's pretty much a Western. The events and the climaxes are quite small, and what makes it interesting are the characters and the stories and the little cultures that we get to explore and the world building that is involved in it, and exploring these strange, vast, seemingly ghost town-like planets where it's very rare to find people, and the people that you do find are struggling to get by or live in these tiny little towns with all kinds of different creatures that mostly are talking about how they want to get the fuck out of there. That's why even when the first movie came out, in the production of it, the cast themselves didn't know what the hell George was doing. They thought he was crazy. That's why most people thought it was going to be a failure, because even for sci-fi at the time, which wasn't really popular in the first place, to make a sci-fi movie, a space movie in the desert, And that's really where it went for in season 1, building up this Western kind of fantasy that Star Wars hadn't really explored for years and years. Now with season 2 coming out, if season 1 was an homage to classic Westerns, season 2 was an homage to epic fantasy epics. Every single episode was like this giant epic climax or included one big action sequence some way. It seems like a lot of the episodes seem to be even paying homage to a lot of classic action films or fantasy films. And, clearly with episode 1 being, for example, an homage to the movies Tremors, or the Tremors movies, with that ginormous freaking Sarlacc creature that gets so big that even Jon Favreau does this incredible thing where the screen extends from just the classic view of what we're used to seeing Star Wars or any film to like this epic IMAX for sequence that even on my TV looked absolutely just heart-stopping. Or episode 2 clearly being an homage to Aliens. You cannot tell me that a giant mother spider and all her baby weird alien spiders attempting to kill this small little crew in their ship is not clearly an homage to the classic James Cameron Aliens movie. As a whole, never failed throughout every episode to be epic in its storytelling and in its action sequences, while still giving care and attention to its cast and its main characters. Mando himself being absolutely such an incredible character, possibly now one of my favorites of the Star Wars franchise, still adding a lot of that Western style into the series. To Baby Yoda, or now I guess I should say Grogu, being an absolutely adorable little freak every episode. Season 2 was clearly, now that they had all of the power and all the attention, made sure to just absolutely have as much fun with it as possible, and while still introducing a lot of new characters, going insane with bringing back all the classic Star Wars characters we know and love, and even bringing characters that were once only seen in the animated side of Star Wars, especially with the Clone Wars, and finally give them the big screen, or I guess small screen it is on TV, on Disney+. Still, what the hell, big screen treatment that we have been waiting for. To see all the classic other Mandalorians that we saw on the Clone Wars TV show, to see Ahsoka Tano, and of course, to see Luke Skywalker, classic 1980s Return of the Jedi Luke Skywalker, be brought back in absolutely breathtaking CG is something that cannot be described by words. Clearly, I mean, the best episode of this entire season that everyone has been agreeing on, aside from now the last one of the finale, has been the Ahsoka episode, The Jedi. To finally see Ahsoka Tano on the big screen, and her not just being handled just as incredible fan service and homage, which admittedly there also was a lot of in season 2 that could be worrying for the future of the show and of Star Wars, still to just be handled so epically and with care from now that I think about it a lot, with that episode being a clear big homage to another big inspiration for the original Star Wars trilogy, the Akira Kurosawa films, and the samurai genre of action films and storytelling that, especially I believe in the 50s and 60s, were quite prominent. To see it handle it and being used to tell this kind of story in such an epic way, out of all the episodes that have come out already of this season, the one that I've replayed and rewatched the most on my TV, without a doubt, has been the Ahsoka episode. I've seen it at least 6 different times now, and in the intro of the videos you saw, I even filmed myself by like the 3rd time in my reaction to one of the scenes of how just absolutely epic it was. And it blew my mind to find out that it was directed by Dave Filoni, even written by him. The guy that in the first season of the show made possibly one of my least favorite episodes. Give the man some time to practice his craft. Literally, he can go from making one of the most forgettable episodes and pieces of content in the TV show's history to making one of the greatest pieces of television that Star Wars has ever made. And that's coming from the guy who's made one of the best TV shows in Star Wars, period. It's just absolutely insane. That's something that I never even deemed possible in my mind to finally be brought into live action and just done so epically. That duel, and to see Rosario Dawson's Ahsoka Tano just face off, especially for that final battle and that epic duel with her dual lightsabers, is just some of the best piece of film I've ever even seen in my life. It was epic. I've seen it already like 6 different times on my TV alone, and it never ceases to fail. Especially to watch that in 4K is just something I could never trade in. It was almost as exciting as watching Luke and Vader duel in Return of the Jedi. I said it. It's that epic. And then we get to the finale of Season 2 of The Mandalorian. Possibly one of my favorite finales I've ever seen for anything Star Wars related. And this was also the same year that we got the finale to the Clone Wars. But before I get to that, I want to give a little background on why this finale was so important to me and why it meant so much. And to talk about that, I obviously have to talk about what pretty much I've always been talking about this whole year, which has been how shitty 2020 has been because of the pandemic. And guys, I know even I just did another video, practically a little vlog of me, well, not so little, a practical vlog of me explaining how shitty this year was and just exploring everything that happened this year and how absolutely crazy it was. And pretty much how this year sucked for me and my family, just like most Americans especially went through this year. But if I definitely had to point to a month that was specifically harder than most, it definitely had to be this December. You know, the time was already going to happen. We were already expecting this to come one day during this whole year, but it finally came out of all the months, the month of Christmas. My family tested positive for coronavirus. So knowing that my family was already so paranoid this whole year, possibly getting this virus, for us to finally be confirmed of having it pretty much put already a family that was already in paranoia into full-on panic mode, not knowing what to do. I wasn't in too much pain. It hurt to walk, but I could walk. I know most people can even do that from the stories I've heard. To take full-on precaution, my entire family decided to just fully quarantine ourselves in our own spot of the house, in our own separate rooms. And we pretty much, for a whole week, didn't even talk to each other, look at each other, unless it was through the phone. We didn't hate each other. It's not that we didn't want to see each other at all, but my family and I were so terrified of possibly getting ourselves even more sick and more in danger than we pretty much already were in, that we just decided to be a little more safe, to not even try to look at each other. Which honestly, from how alone I, to be 100% with you guys, I felt this whole year, where it seemed like I was just doing nothing but staring at my window and my walls and just seeing a glimpse of the outside world through the internet every day. And how demotivating that has been to even do stuff like this with you guys. To finally just 100% literally be doing nothing, especially the first week. I was doing nothing but laying down in my bed. I was pretty much already living like a stereotypical cave dweller in my room by myself because I had to. It was the most miserable experience, honestly, of my life. I didn't want to talk to anyone anymore. I've never really felt that close to depression in my life, and I've really experienced a lot of crazy things that really stressed the hell out of me and left me very scared and scarred. But my God, this year has tested my patience. I just didn't have motivation to do much anymore. And then the final premiere, the finale of The Mandalorian, Season 2 dropped. I'm going to be honest, I wasn't even going to watch it. I was already in such a terrible mood and so down. And even that week, I was trying to motivate myself and force myself to watch movies again, since that always cheered me up. Let's just put in the energy to watch this final episode. If I don't like it, whatever. It's not like I'm doing anything anyway. Let's give it a watch. And then I saw it. And then I saw it again. And then I saw it again. And then I saw it again. And to see a piece of film at all, especially a piece of Star Wars media, be handled so expertly, so geniusly, and even by the guy that made the Ant-Man movies, which you see the action sequences be handled in such an expert way that literally even had my sick self just on the edge of my seat every second, to see such incredible performance and even such incredible writing that even had me laughing my ass off when I heard another character say those words, dank ferret and son of a, what was it, nerf herder? Just like from the originals? I think they said son of a nerf herder like multiple times. To see Gus once again be such an epic goddamn actor and just handle his character so geniusly, become one of my favorite villains. To see that epic battle between Mando and Gus with the Darksaber be just so incredibly epic. And of course, to see my childhood hero on the big screen again, in his classic, iconic form, one of practically my favorite form, and the way I think of Luke whenever I think of Luke Skywalker. Guys, Season 2's finale of The Mandalorian was everything I needed, and then some. To see my childhood hero once again be back on the big screen in such an epic way. To even see that emotional finale of Mando finally having to say goodbye to Grogu, who I've been calling Baby Yoda this whole thing, even though we all know he's Grogu now, just to be handled so expertly, with such breathtaking performances, breathtaking visuals, and even stunning special effects, is just, it's everything I needed, especially at that time, which, yeah, I'll admit, even got me emotional. I was crying that night. I really was. It seemed unbelievable, especially by the end, that I was even watching it. And once I saw Luke show up, I swear I thought it was hallucinating. I was thinking, okay, maybe COVID has this new, like, hallucinogen effect that I wasn't aware about. It was insane. And even I know there's been so many memes going around of making fun of people that literally were crying live in their live streams of witnessing that. But honestly, it was just so awesome to know that there's people online, practical celebrities, that I could relate with. It's exactly how I felt. In conclusion, though, clearly The Mandalorian was everything I wanted and then some. It was the Star Wars fantasy that all fans, and even new fans alike, have been wanting from their movies, and especially in times like this, have been needing. Joy and hope. To get excited for something, but also to just be happy about something. To even get something out of the things you watch through the show's incredible writing and absolutely lovable and soon to be even, I dare to say, iconic characters, and explore these incredible stories of redemption and tragedy and overcoming your fears. Just classic storytelling brought to a new audience, and to be done so expertly is everything of why I love doing these videos in the first place and why I love film at all. And The Mandalorian Season 2 proves that once again for me. In conclusion, The Mandalorian, with its epic storytelling, its epic visual effects, its incredible sequences, and just its absolutely incredible dedication to storytelling to even the simplest of stories. I mean, the whole story for the season was literally just Mando delivering Grogu to a Jedi. And they managed to make 8 incredible, at worst, fun and exciting, hell, even interesting episodes out of them. It's just an achievement that cannot be failed to not be recognized. I'm going to give Mandalorian Season 2 a 9.5 out of 10. Possibly some of the greatest content I've ever seen for a TV show. And that says a lot in a year that I've even discovered Community, one of my new favorite shows of all time, and finally finished Breaking Bad and Game of Thrones. That says a lot. That's a lot of insane competition. And I cannot wait for Season 3 of this show. And for even all the new pieces of film and shows that Star Wars has to offer. There's a lot of new ones coming. And I can't wait to see them. Guys, that was my review for The Mandalorian Season 2. Please tell me in the comments below, what did you think of The Mandalorian Season 2? Clearly, there's a lot of spoilers throughout this whole fucking video, and even though it's absolutely insane that I feel like I even have to say that, because I feel like everyone has been watching this, even though some friends have even revealed to me that not everyone has finished it. What did you think of it? What were your favorite moments? What are your thoughts on a lot of the new actions and events that unfolded throughout the show? What are your new favorite pieces of Star Wars content that are coming? What do you think of the Ahsoka TV show that's coming? Or that big finale that I even witnessed that first night of the new Boba Fett TV show coming? What are your thoughts? I'd love to hear them. And hell, what was your favorite moment of this entire season? I honestly would love to know. Did you cry at the finale? Don't you lie to me if you did. I just poured my soul out to you. Don't you fucking lie to me about it. Anyway, guys, once again, thank you all for watching. I know this was an absolutely just tiring and just devastating year for most of us, especially in America. But I really hope that stuff like this reminds us once again of why to get excited, even when it seems like everything else sucks, for one little thing that actually turns out good, like a really good TV show. To get us this excited, it's proof that anything is possible. And even if it seems like an entire year can be nothing but hell, that there's so many years and decades to come to still be excited for, or to even make it exciting for. So I really hope you guys keep remembering that this year. So I hope this helps remind you. Thank you all for watching, and as always, have a lovely day. Happy holidays, everyone.